Welcome to Techno with me. Let's start a new concept that is called LangGraph. So what is LangGraph? LangGraph is product of LangChain only. So LangChain company only, but it is built for separate reason. So LangChain we have seen that is a framework with a LangChain core and then LangChain community, LangChain experimental. There are many things, the packages, the libraries, LangChain, LCL, you can do chaining and all the concept, right? So what is LangGraph? So LangGraph, you can see balance agent control with agency. Now, we know what is agent, okay? Agent what the specialized to do certain particular concept or certain particular work, right? Like broker, house broker, real estate broker, they are the agent who are experts on the real estate. They know each and every the deal outside in your neighbor, what are the rent of the apartment, which apartment is going to sell, and those things. Anyway, coming to the point, so that particular concept is also there in the Gen AI area. So agentic AI is a very important factor nowadays that we have an entire new section in the agentic AI. But as we are continuing LangChain, LangGraph and LangSmith, so here we will understand LangGraph. So LangGraph is actually built to implement that agentic concept in the Gen AI. By LangChain company, they have introduced this framework LangGraph so that you can also implement agentic generative AI or agentic AI using LangGraph. So nothing but that one. So it is a agenting framework. Okay. So if you look into this is the website, and then if you go look into the detail, and you can play around the introduction of LangGraph over there, and okay, and then you can see this is one kind of workflow. We'll implement a separate workflow. We'll come to the workflow, but this is a graph concept, right? Node and then age. These are and then conditions. You can go in this direction or you can go another direction. So that kind of flow, if you want to implement, you can have multiple nodes. Those you can assign to multiple agents, multiple assistant, I would say assistant or agent, okay, who are helping the users, right? So you can have multiple nodes, you can communicate to each other. So those will come to the agentic AI in the detail area. So this is another framework, okay? So we're using Python. So if you go and then understand why LangChain, what is the difference between LangChain and LangGraph, right? So do I need to use LangChain to use LangGraph? What's the difference? So no, LangChain is an orchestration framework for complex agentic system, right? So this is for the agentic system and is more low level and controllable with LangChain agents than LangChain agents. So LangChain provides a standard interface to interact with models and other components, useful for straightforward chains and retrieval flow. So for RAG, you will see it is important LangChain, and straightforward chains, we need the LangChain. But when it comes to the agentic system, then LangGraph is the framework. How LangGraph different from other agentic framework, that will look like PVI, AutoGen, these are the popular agentic framework. It is saying simple and generic task other agentic framework can do, but we will look into that one, okay, later. Does LangGraph impact performance of my app? It will not, okay. Is it a free or open source? Yes, it is free and licensed by MIT. And many more area you can look into and understand. And then the docs area, if you go to the docs of LangGraph, how to start LangGraph, you need to install this particular package, okay, LangGraph. LangSmith is separate. You may ignore that particular these two packages, but LangGraph, the package that you need to install it, okay, in your terminal of your ID. Then you need to slowly build a chatbot. Okay, we'll look into it. It will be a little I would say compared to LangChain, it will be a little complex coding. You need to build your nodes, you need to build your edges, you need to build certain conditions using Python code, but the framework will help you. Don't worry. Okay, so those are all written in this particular document sections. Okay, so let's go and then see what we are going to implement, and from Python code, let's understand that particular area. Okay, let's start implementing this particular this particular flow or graph, like you can understand this is the node and this is the edge, right? So this is the concept of graph. So we are going to implement this kind of flow using LangGraph. So the implementation part, what you will see, you will first import the libraries for sure, right? The LangGraph libraries. Then we'll have like LLM initiation, right? The API key and stuff. And then you will see the tools, right? The tool is this particular logic will have like one function, which will check like whether SF or San Francisco is there in the message. If it is present, then it will return 60 degree. If it is not, then it will return 90 degree related to weather. And if any if any question which is not related to this particular concept or this particular context, then what it will do, it will return from the LLM call. Like the question, if the question will ask like who is the president of China, then this particular will return from the model call itself. So this is the conditional age will also come, right? The should continue, like whether model call will check whether this should go to the tools or not. So that conditional age will also come. The nodes implementation will come, and this particular logic will come, and some model call will come. Okay. So and then a chat related to queries, related to user queries will take, and then response will return. So this is what we are going to implement. Let's implement that particular side. So first we'll import lots of libraries. Okay. So libraries, let's import the libraries. So the libraries, we'll look into the libraries. Okay. Once we go into the detail and then look into the code, and then we'll go one by one. So first section, obviously we know the very common stuff that we are going to initiate the LLM call. So first we'll have the env file, which will find the env file and then find the Grok API key, and that Grok API key will move to chat Grok, right? So we are using Grok. So chat Grok, you can use OpenAI or anything for your like API key. If you have API key, you can do it. So chat Grok API key will have like temperature and the API key and then model name. So this is the LLM part. Once the LLM part is there, as I said, like we are going to implement the tool, right? So the tool will come with the tool. Okay. So that way we will initiate the tool, and then we'll have like a method or function div search. Okay. So that will take query string. And which logic will be there? We'll have a logic if this is the logic. If query, which will convert to the lowercase, because we are going to check whether the we're going to like convert everything to lowercase and then validate whether this is SF or San Francisco is present, then it will return 60 degree. If it is not, then it will return 90 degree. So this is the function, which will be in case of our logic, it will be the this particular tool, right? So that we have implemented. Now next part is we are going to create a state. Okay. So a crucial aspect of managing multi-agent system is the state management. Okay. So LangGraph addresses through automatic state management. This means the library inherently handles the tracking and updating of a central state object as agents execute their task. That means all the like nodes, all the agents will share that particular state. So you have to have like a state for your graph. Next line will have a graph builder. So graph builder will use that particular state, and based on that the graph will build. Okay, so that will be there. And then our common thing will have like LangGraph way to create a like this is the list. You can have like, suppose you have multiple tools. Okay, so you can create a list of all the tools and then put it in the tools variable. You can name it any variable, right, as such. So suppose I have another tool over here, wiki search. If we have that one, you can comma and then put it in the wiki search. Okay, so that way you can do. So for the simple app side, what we will do, we'll just have like one tool over here and then put it over here. Okay, and then how to bind that particular tool with LLM, because ultimately LLM will decide whether it will call tool or not. So this is the way LLM dot bind tools. This will define, like, this is the way we can bind specific, like, multiple tools. If you have like 10 tools, 5 tools for agentic flow, then you can bind all the tools, put it in the list, and then bind all the tools through the LLM with bind calls. Okay, so that way we have the tool like integrated with the LLM. Let's have our first thing, right? Like the assistant. Okay, so this is our assistant. So if we now go to our graph, let's see our PPT. So you can understand this is the one that we are going to create now. Okay, so the model call and the this particular node we have not yet created, but we are creating all the logic. Then we will put it in the node. Okay, LangGraph. So now if we go, so this is the logic. Okay, so what it will do, it will return LLM with calls. Okay, so this will check and then invoke the message. It will invoke and then it will return the message. So this is the chatbot, and let's build our graph nodes. The first node will be chatbot node. Okay, so that is one node, and second node will have tool node, right? So that those nodes are there. So tool node will come. We first need to have like one more line in between a tool node. So this is the way in LangGraph we can create a tool node. Okay, so tool node will have like under tool node function that we need to initiate. Okay, then we'll create a graph builder add node, and then it will come into the tool node. So now we have the nodes. Now we have the logic of assistant. We have a tool, right? So those things we have built. Now we have to connect with edges. One edge will be conditional edge and one edge will be normal edge, right? So first create the conditional edge. So this is the way we can create a conditional edge in LangGraph. So add conditional edge. So what is the line between conditional edge? One is the chatbot, that is the node, and then another one is the, so this will call like tool conditions will have like tool conditions will come from LangGraph pre-built. Okay, so that will decide the tool, the conditions. It will read from the LLM what responses, and then based on that it will actually call the tools. Okay, so that those things are already implemented. We don't need to implement anything. So that is the concept. Okay, conditional edge. And then now we have, what is the another edge? The normal edge will be tools and chatbot, right? So that is the normal edge, and then we will have a conditional edge. Next, what is the entry point? Entry point is the chatbot, right? So next, if we go again to our like PPT, you can see the entry edge is this chatbot. Okay, this is the conditional edge, and this is the normal edge, and this is the model call, chatbot like model call, and this is our tool logic that we have already implemented. Now we have to take this user input and provide the response. So we just call that and then we'll respond. So only few lines of code is remaining. Let's complete it. So now if we go and then we'll compile this particular graph. So graph is already built. So this is the graph builder, set entry point. This is entry point, this is add edge, and this is the conditional edge. These are the nodes, 2 nodes, and then we have a chatbot concept which will call the LLM, okay, and then which is bind with the tools already, right? And then we have a graph builder and we have a tool, okay, tool like logic of the tool also. Now let's take the input. Okay, so let's take that input. Okay, in between we have memory. So memory is for to retrieve or save the conversation, so that in like all the chatbot should have a memory. Okay, so otherwise like it will look like a dump. Okay? So memory should memorize like, or the like keep the conversation of user and the assistant, and then based on that it can also reply right, or provide the response. So that way you can put it this memory saver over here, and then this is the way to call graph.invoke. Okay, so once you compile, then we can invoke the graph with a human message. And the message we are going to first put like who is the president of China, so that it will not call the tool, right? So that's the thing. And then we are going to print the result. Let's print the result and see. This is the code, because we know like the content will come. Okay. Okay, let's run it. See, the response is coming like Jinping is the current president of China. Now, if we ask what is the weather of San Francisco, what is the weather of SF? Let's see. It should call from the search tool, right? And it should return it's 60 degree and foggy. That's what we are expecting. See, the weather of San Francisco is 60 degree and foggy. So you can understand like you can have a like concept of multiple tools and then assign to like chatbot based on your logic. Okay. So you can, if you look into this particular node, so if you can have like multiple tools, right? Tools 1, tool 2, tool 3, and then tools are assigned to multiple kind of logic, individual specific logic. And then we'll have like one agent or multiple agent, and then those agents will talk to different tools based on your logic, and then you can implement. So that kind of concept supports in the LangGraph. Okay. So LangGraph is a node and LangGraph is a node and edge concept to come up with this particular agentic concept, agentic implementation of generative AI. Hope you understood. Okay, play around it and thank you.